Guys, I'm really excited. What I have in front of me right now is my Steam Deck, my 256 NVMe storage capacity Steam Deck, the middle option. And I've been waiting for, good grief, gosh, probably 6 months with extreme anticipation and almost a year now with some mixed anticipation because people have been getting this since the beginning of the year. And so now that I have mine, it's time to unbox it. And you'll notice I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt because I've had a couple comments about the fact that I'm a Star Wars fan. And yes, I actually collect Star Wars things. Well, just one Star Wars thing because it's inexpensive. When I start making the real money, I'll start collecting like real helmets. But right now, it's Funko Pops. So cool. So cool. I love these things. Anyway, let's get into why we're all here today, and that is for me to unbox my Steam Deck. Now, what makes me really excited about this specific device is the fact that this allows me now to start to play some PC games. And before, I wasn't able to play PC games because I didn't have a gaming PC. Now, I had tried to do the whole gaming PC thing back in the day, but the problem I had was I'm a Mac user, so using Windows was something that was just not comfortable for me. And also, financially, it just wasn't really my cup of coffee. That's my cup of coffee. Oh, baby. All right, a few different languages here. On the subway, I see that in English. On the oh, okay, so if I go down, on the toilet? It literally says on the toilet. So they know their audience. Oh, that's funny. Attention, plug in, power on. Okay, so I guess we're gonna do it that way. All right, plug in and power on. So what we have in the box here out the gates, it looks like this is probably the power adapter. And then this, of course, is the Steam Deck. Now, I purchased a case for my Steam Deck today when this arrived because I'm like, I need to have a case. I forgot that it came with a case, so that is what it is. Let's go ahead and take out everything and then just get rid of. So we have the actual Steam Deck itself. Looks like a bunch of more things here. Is it in a submarine? Okay, cool. The packaging's okay. I mean, for an unboxing experience, it's eco-friendly. It's just one box. That's cool, I suppose. For unboxing experience, there's nothing to write home about. This is kind of, you know, it reminds me of like an IKEA box, and you know, whatever. Not everybody can be just like, Xbox or Asus ROG. I mean, the Asus, when you open up that laptop, it pops it forward. It's just a beautiful unboxing experience. And an Xbox as well with a half box. You open it, there's diagonal lines, it's sitting there, it's power your dreams. I mean, your games are going places. That's cool. It's kind of a nice, I don't know, this right here, this feel right here feels very similar to what just a case would feel like, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. What do we have? Exactly, yeah. So this is the power adapter. Now it's gonna want me to plug this in, which I have a power outlet behind me. Some paperwork. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this paperwork is behind. So it's nitpicky. We're nitpicky here, right? This isn't by no means that important, but this paperwork, if you see from the above cam, like, it doesn't fit perfectly here, so they do put it securely underneath a lip that is cut out there for it, but it makes it difficult for it to come out. Now, this paperwork I doubt has any diagrams. Yeah, there's no pictures or anything, so there's gonna be definitely no reading that, right? I don't do anything that doesn't have pictures. Didn't go to college. Now, if there was a crayon or something, I might get involved, but that's just text. Okay, so we're going to need to plug it in to power it on. So I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Twist tie, just a simple little plastic twist tie. I know, again, it sounds nitpicky, but I do unboxings here on this channel, and because I do unboxing on this channel, I have to speak into some of the better unboxing experiences. And that twist tie, just a standard generic plastic one, it's a detail, right? We're talking details here that don't really matter in the long run. I just threw it, right? It doesn't matter to me, but I will say that I remember the twist tie or the specific plastic wrapping that you get with the Xbox and how the cable is perfectly wound. It's that kind of attention that does set the feel apart or the quality apart, at least the feel of the quality. Who knows, this could be the best quality out there. All right. plugging it in. I have my power cable ready to go. It's just sitting here on my lap. All right, so we have this. Oh, okay, so I can probably slide it off. There's a rip tab right here that I could rip. There's a bunch of barcodes, so I'm not gonna show you that. There's a rip tab. I'm just gonna do this. Awesome, and then, not too sticky, okay, cool. Oh, and it looks like this is the case. Okay, so this is sturdy. The corners are sturdy, that's nice. If I look on the underside of it, there's a gap, and this gap here is, just by looking at it, does it fit the, yeah, so it fits the cable. Now, me personally, that's cool. I like, it's bungee, so that's good. It's probably not gonna fall out, realistically. I mean, if you're super, super aggressive with it, maybe, but then at that point, you're kind of risking the actual device itself, so I wouldn't necessarily be too aggressive with it, but that does fit there. Where I see it being a benefit is you don't want anything loose like this inside the case potentially knocking up against the Steam Deck. The only downside is, I mean, it's not the, so it's just kind of right here. I don't know how that's gonna hold up, but I didn't pay extra for this, so I feel like, you know, it is what it is. The handle is just a piece of nylon. I mean, it's not gonna break. The stitching might come undone, but it's not gonna break. Now, I will say this does come with a lock on it. I had gotten this far in the unboxing and realized I didn't turn on my overhead cam, so I'd already cut this off. So now it's cut off, it's locked right here on this little lock. We're good to go, it's done, it's easy, you cut that off and you're good to go. We will not need this knife anymore. And so now let's open up the actual Steam Deck packaging and see it for the first time. Oh. Now again, as I said, I'm really excited. This means I get to play PC games in the console form factor. And I'm someone who just plays video games directly on console. Like, that's just, it is what it is. I've never gotten into PC games. This is really exciting for me. Before I open it though, I just gotta take one more sip of coffee. Okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh boy. This is big. This is big. Now, okay. This is just, all right. Okay. Yeah, this is big. Now, I did prep for this, for some comparison. So here's the Nintendo Switch, just the size, the size itself. And here is, it's so much. Now I'm gonna get rid of this case because it's nice, it's a nice case. I don't really need to have it on the desk anymore, so that's gone. But if we look overhead cam right here, side by side, I'm just gonna try to put them, that is a huge difference when it comes to this size. Now, if you put a grip case on here, you might be able to get close to it, but that's a big difference. It's definitely flatter. Now, if we're looking directly at the back and all this stuff, you guys have probably seen these before. I'm not the first one to get this, so you guys have definitely seen this. We're seeing these buttons, we're seeing just some plastics. Now, the plastic, there's some texture kind of to it, but it's not textured as in like grippy texture. And it doesn't, again, I'm being as critical as possible, but also like, this is a really cool piece of tech, but the texture, or the texture, the feel of the plastic, of the buttons and everything, doesn't feel wildly high quality. It doesn't feel bad. I'd say if like the best quality thing out there is rated at 10, this is a solid, like no questions asked 7. Now, I wouldn't say that Nintendo gets far past 7 either, but I'm just saying that this doesn't feel super high quality. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, turn it on, and we're gonna go ahead and update it real quick, and we'll come back once it's done being updated, because I do know that that's something that needs to take place. And here we go. Now, something that's interesting to say about the back buttons themselves, if we just look at them, when you're holding these back buttons, your hands naturally want to be right here, right? So you would think that with back buttons, you would want to pull the button, right? And pull. Now, if you try to pull the buttons, they don't press as easily as if you push right here. If you were to push, that's the click. So really, when using these buttons, it's gonna be a push, not a pull. And that's interesting because when you're thinking of the controller like the Xbox, Elite Series 2 controller, those paddles are more of a pull, not a push. So if you're already used to using sort of paddle controllers or something like that, you're used to applying pressure in a pulling motion. So that is a little bit different. I wouldn't expect it to really change your gameplay. I don't know how many people are gonna map to that. I don't see people maybe getting too competitive here and using them, but, oh, wait a second. That's real weird. That's a weird sensation. The touch pads, it feels like it's haptic feedback, so I'm getting a click. I'm used to that because I have a Mac, and the touchpad there is like super haptic-y, but when you're just, this touchpad, it feels, you can feel your hand going across your thumb, like there's clicks, like individual clicks, like you're brushing hair, like really thick hair. That's bizarre. Now I can hear the fan. I'm wearing a mic here too, but I don't know, you guys can't pick that up. So one thing I'm just gonna have to wait and see is how does this feel going and playing it at like a coffee shop? It's very bulky, very bulky. So it feels like a huge thing. And I mean, it's gonna definitely turn heads. People are gonna ask questions. Hey, what's that? You know, and some people will recognize it, but it just seems really large. Whereas again, the Nintendo Switch, the only other thing that I have in the exact same form factor to compare it to, just is a bit smaller, and it has, you know, the kickstand and the removable controllers, the Joy-Cons, right? So that's just a different gaming experience. Now this, in and of itself, is not at all to be compared to the Switch. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Okay, so I need to log in. So stand by. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this thing all set up and get some games installed on it. And you guys are gonna have to stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to play some games, some over-the-shoulder stuff, just to see how it runs and how it plays. I'm really interested on how that's all gonna work. Right now, we're just trying to get everything set up properly, and I'm not gonna bore you or waste some time with that. So we'll see you guys in the next video, but most of all, happy gaming.